Is anybody out there? I'm officially coming to you this time. It is Autumn here with Black Spring. Now, I tapped on earlier to do a test, but I do want to talk to you about. I want to come to you right now with my perspective on. Of course, this is Black Friday. Not sure where you are on that. If you're doing anything with Black Friday. But for one, there was an interview by the BET founder, Robert Johnson, and it seems to be. I just kind of want to go into it. It just seems that I can appreciate anyone that comes out, an affluent Black businessman. I guess to me, this is what I'm learning about. I think he's a self-made man. I don't know if that is the reason that he can come out from a non-tribal, kind of even on a nonpartisan kind of a tone and speak about Trump 2020. That was an interview that he did on CNBC. And I think, in the previous interview, earlier this year, he became known as the first African-American billionaire. And even in that particular interview, he basically seemed to show quite a bit of approval for Trump on not just economics, but even from a foreign policy standpoint during I think the conflict at the time was regarding the Iran nuclear program, that conflict earlier this year. But he basically touted Donald Trump's economy and showed approval for the opportunities that it has created for Blacks, included, he named some things, of course, the tax cuts, the jobs, and what that means for the African-American or the Black community, whatever government coin you want to flip on that. But I just think generally that economics, I think you're able to see the formula that Trump uses is much more pro economic growth or wealth. A wealth building economy will come from deregulations, less government involvement, less creation of government overreach, because that seems to be, of course, that's the Democrats' solution to everything. That's their solution to every crisis. Historically, that is their solution, which typically causes unemployment to rise. And of course, just a spiral downshoot on economy. But I think also, he's pretty consistent with what he says, but he's also speaking, he does bring in a partisan mention on the 2020 candidate, Michael Bloomberg. And he talks about, of course, that Michael Bloomberg would have to, of course, atone for, I guess, some of his policies when he was, I guess, the mayor of New York, I guess that's stop and frisk. Some of his, flaws during his mayorship would have to be addressed, I guess, to the Black community there in order for him to get any traction, I guess, in his 2020 campaign. However, I want to digress and go back to, it's nice to see an affluent Black man or African-American billionaire come out and speak on values, speak on economy, speak on policy. We just keep getting flooded and hit with all of these social justice people coming out, whether it's somebody from the Breakfast Club or whether it's an Ana Navarro or whether it's, Michelle Obama. It's just every time there's somebody from the Democrat Party that comes out to get their dig into this economy, and it's not substantive. I mean, this is another part of the Robert Johnson interview that I had a lot of respect for, was he talked about it's going to take, Donald Trump has his style. He referred to it as the stylist Trump. And then there's the substantive Trump. Well, there is no substance behind these 2020 candidates. They all government, 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 create this. Oh, the government can do this. Oh, the government is the answer to all of your problems. Oh, the government is the answer to climate change, and just government all the time. But it's just it's refreshing to see someone speak from not only an experienced place, an informed place, but a non-tribal, a non-vicious kind of just attack or propaganda. When we're dealing with the Black community has real issues that need to be addressed, and not this whole, worship of, a skin color, or that kind of that tone that comes from many of the others. You don't see the other. I refer to them as the elite or the deletes, the Black elites and the Black deletes. They don't come out with real messages based on policy or based on values. They come out of the career victimhood, or they come out from the victocrat status. I mean, you have the Don Lemons, you have the LeBron Jameses, you have all of these people that don't come out on a message that sticks with anybody. They come out on propaganda. And this is a quote that I think, was it David Weber, after he was attacked or he was, misnomered as being white, or, coined as having white privilege for his own success. He talked about, this is a paraphrase, that, the skin is an organ that does not articulate ideas. It does not, it does not develop ideas. And he's absolutely right. And I just think that in order for anybody to be competitive, or to be, a formidable opponent for 2020 against Trump, they would have to be much more substantive. And I just don't know where they're going to get that from. I don't think, you can throw Michael Bloomberg can throw as much money as he wants at the campaign. It's going to have to be, he has a lot of ground to make up for, and it's just not there. Trump's economy is just not, it's really it's unmatched. It's hitting historical booms, stock market. People should be happier with their 401ks. Even for this Black Friday, people are going to shop. Whether they're going to shop from their home, from their computers, or whether they're getting out into the rush and doing it the old-fashioned way, or on foot. So I just wanted to bring that in. If anybody's here, I'm more than happy to respond to some commentary. I hope that wasn't too wordy there, but I just wanted to make mention of, non-tribal messages coming out of affluent and well-read and well-traveled, African Americans. We need so much more of that. And people are starving for truth. And it's just, even if he is, I can't speak for him touting himself as being a lifelong Democrat, but I can respect him for coming out and speaking from an economic standpoint. In fact, I think all of our schools should subscribe to Dr. Thomas Sowell on economics. He just really, he can break anything down without a ton of graphs and numbers and cumbersome, charts. It's just, he's definitely the breath of fresh air who's, been a little bit abused in the media. But here again, I do welcome anyone that would like to make a comment. And I appreciate anybody that's here right now. There's so many things that are going on in the news. And the news, of course, everybody knows by now it lacks veracity. And everything that the president does, he cannot do. I mean, literally, he leaves his own Thanksgiving table and goes to Afghanistan to be with the US troops. And he gets trolled. They hit the newspapers, print, they find some way. They're I'm sure they're eating crow on some level, but not really. It's not even about that. It's just not even, there's not real journalism is not going on anymore. So but hopefully you can appreciate some of the things that I will try to bring you here on these live streams. I'm going to try to come up with an actual series and just do a regular live stream, at least try to do one each week. This one was kind of important to me because I just think that, the antidote to a lot of this chaos that we see, it can be dealt with from facts. It can be dealt with from, if you just take the bias out of things and just look at things from either an economic stand, just pure economics. If we can just deal from those ends, but it's not about, it just seems to, the culture is not about facts. Marxism, they don't really care about facts. They don't want, but when you give people facts, they tend to change their behavior. They want to dig a little bit more, because I, for one, if I find out that I'm wrong about one thing, it just kind of it just kind of sparks, it just kind of trickles down, and I just want to keep going and digging into things. So hopefully the word is getting out into the, not just the Black community, but America overall. I mean, if you're, if the weaker links do better in an economy, then America does better. So I just I also get a little bit frustrated when I keep hearing Trump supporters, Trump. Well, it's about America. That's what it's about. And another thing that I've seen, I'm sure by now, if you can stomach those debates, you see that stage, you see remnants of the US flag. You might see a star over here, a stripe over there. It's a total distortion of our flag. And to me, I actually think that they believe that that's what it should be. I mean, I think that party, I really do believe that they thrive on confusion. And when people are confused, I use this word advice. I use this word, as more metaphorically. You can pervert things. When there's confusion, you can pervert things to a point of, things can be manipulated when there's a lot of confusion. And unfortunately, that's what's happening to America, to the younger generations. I mean, whether you're Gen Z or Gen X or whichever end of the spectrum you fall on, and not to mention these college campuses. If I wanted to go back to school today, I just don't know I really don't know whether that would serve me well. I don't know if I could handle the amount of indoctrination that goes on right now. Personally, I've been an adjunct professor myself, and it's never really been about me, acting out on the students as if they were my Barbie dolls. I did that as a kid, but, I always wanted to give facts and let students, kind of form their own opinions. But now it's a total cultural Marxist market. It's just anything goes. And everybody has ideas, but we're just, we're just at the point where it's perverted. The ideas are so perverted that we're spiraling into no man's land. We've had, it's just people are going to be miserable, and I don't want to be miserable. Um, so I thank you again. I know I got on to a bit of a rant there, but I thank you for tuning in, and just let me know what you think, even if you do it in the comments. Like I said, this platform in itself, I didn't think I was eligible to do it because of course YouTube has their rules. They've got their new subvergent efforts to silence people that are conservative or want to bring any kind of balance to the chaos. So I will do my best to build up this live stream because I actually find it to be a lot more liberating than just being scripted all the time. And hopefully, I can even bring some more technology to the picture. But please let me know what you think in the comment. And also, I'm comfortable with you guys liking and sharing. And I hope to see you again on the next live stream. Have a great Black Friday.